Am I the butthole for telling my cousin she's committing a sin? Not the butthole if she's going to have a running commentary about how you're living, she better expect to be held to that same standard. I would tell your family that you'll agree not to comment on what they do so long as they can keep their opinions to themselves. If she's going to have a running commentary about how you're living, she better expect to be held to that same standard. Your parents though. You told them it was an issue, they didn't deal with it, and then when this happened they did the whole surprised Pikachu face thing. You're not the butthole if you can't take crap, don't talk crap. The parents should have dealt with this problem a lot earlier. Surprised Pikachu face indeed. Only hyper-religious when it's convenient, huh? Rules for thee and not for me. A hypocrisy that transcends any border or culture, in one shape or form. I saved this comment. It's golden. I wish I had a free award. It sounds like a blessing that the cousin isn't talking to original poster. Must be a relief. Yeah, original poster can live their own life to their heart's content without being told this or that is haram. It's so ridiculous. If the cousin had just asked her not to put anime on while she's painting because it spoiled her concentration, they could have worked out a rota for painting, and watching anime, and everyone could have been happy. Bringing religion into it just made it ridiculous. It's just a power trip, a super haram power trip at that. Only Allah can power trip that hard. Also, if they're that devout, why leave Saudi Arabia for a place full of miscreants? First, I love your username. Second, this is incredibly insightful. Third, people who live in glass houses should keep their effing mouths shut. Also, painting is not hurting anyone, but somehow watching anime is? Anime has depictions of living things that seems to be haram enough for cousin. Everybody has a breaking point, you reached yours. And apparently it's okay for the cousin to do sins, but it's not okay for you to do it, if the aunt stopped her from drawing. Absolute BS. Not the butthole. Your cousin sounds judgmental. You weren't wrong by pointing out that she was breaking the same set of rules she had sanctimoniously applied to you. I must be an Inuit because I too have always been confused about this. Babies are christened so they can go to heaven, it's done quickly so the baby doesn't die first. But the baby understands nothing, so surely it's meaningless. Why would the Christian God only love those who love him? I mean, okay, if someone showers love on me, I'm more likely to feel positive towards them than if they spewed hate on me, but I never waited for my children to show love to me before showing them I love them, nor any of my pets. It's just a logical result of the despicable doctrine of original sin, the idea that humans are naturally tainted, not because of anything they've done yet, but inherently, and from birth. The Catholic Church more or less wrote itself into a corner on that one, either as a necessity to salvage the doctrine or as a way to get fearful parents to get their children into church as soon as possible, perhaps both. I wouldn't pay it too much mind. Oh, I don't, I'm as atheist as they come. But reading this sort of stuff gets me wondering what it is that prevents me from understanding, then I realize it's because I don't like being BS-ed too. Not the butthole for the vote, but if they want to hold you to their religion, religion, cause of so many problems, then they should follow the same standard. Also, why have they even moved to such an evil place? Wasn't their home less haram than where they live now? I hate people like that. If you can't take it, don't give it. I once went to a party and a random dude said I had to wear a hijab. He told me this while he had a cigarette in one hand and a beer in the other. I'm not Muslim, but I witnessed something to this effect once. My parents have 2 friends who are Muslim and they come over probably once every couple of months for supper or a barbecue. One day a few summers ago it was super hot and we were eating on the patio at my mom and dad's. He, the husband, was drinking a beer and had smoked 2 darts with my dad that evening, and he got super pissy with his wife because she was wearing a long cardigan and wanted to take it off because it was like 30°C, 86°F. Even without the sweater, she would have been by far the most modestly dressed person at the table. The hypocrisy was insane to me. Yeah, I hate hypocrites. If you want to be judging others, then your own life had better be above reproach. Also, this lead to a whole fight and our parents got involved. Her not being able to paint is ultimately her fault. If she had accepted your commentary and stopped there, her mom would not make her stop painting, and she doubled down and lost. Not the butthole. Religion is so bizarre. So like, you can't draw living things. Fortunately, there's a loophole. Pulls out knife. I don't have any other reward, so here's a bear hug for making me laugh. Trophy, thank you for the laugh, I needed it. That's not a loophole, this is a loophole. Pulls out defibrillator. We'll have to be quick though. Wait, if I take a photo of someone, and then I paint the photo, does that count as a living thing? The photo's an inanimate object. Well, if you believe that the photo steals a little piece of your soul, then yes. I'm actually curious, what if the person being depicted is purely a figment of imagination and doesn't actually exist as a particular person? What if you can't tell who it is? Back turned, flowing hair, person-shaped silhouette, etc. Actually curious, and sorry for the ignorant questions. I kind of have an answer for you. You know how in Christianity there are many different forms. You got the Catholics, Lutherans, Baptists, some have more crazy rules than the others. The section of Islam that we deal with the most in the West is like the West Boraro Baptist Church of Islam. They are the ones who believe in stuff like this. In fact, here is a bunch of 1,500-year-old Islam art showing Muhammad both alive and Muhammad is not. Web link. My brain really wanted that to say West Burrito Baptist Church, which would have been funny, but I'm glad no burritos were slandered in the making of your comment. Oh no. I'm just curious to what this extends to. Like? Can't paint trees and plants either. What are you left with? Rocks and water? In Islam, drawing/painting any living thing is a sin. This led to a whole fight and our parents got involved. Basically, they're telling me to apologize because her painting isn't harming anybody. My cousin has stopped talking to me because my aunt made her stop painting. This caused problems between my parents and aunt because they're telling my aunt it's fine. I mean, it only applies to people, not animals. And there is also a loophole, as art is allowed in Islam and music, dancing, and drawing are forms of art, therefore you can technically draw living things. According to Islam, you cannot draw living things including animals. The loophole would be to draw them without facial features, for example eyes. It being art has nothing to do with it Islamically. Can you explain why? I am so baffled. I think they are drawing dead people by drawing their eyes closed. Okay, that is one question, but why is it bad to draw living creatures? Because apparently it's insulting to Allah to imitate His creations. I am 99% sure that's not it, and the real reason is a severe overinterpretation of rules against making idols. Nah, that is it. Source: lived in Islamic country for 3 years. There's a lot of different interpretations, but I think the most accurate in a historical sense would be to avoid iconography and idolization. Does Islam explain why it's not allowed? This seems very extreme to me and I can't fathom why drawing something would be a sin. It is extreme. Saudi Arabia is like that. Lots of Muslim cultures allow depiction of living things. Not the butthole but original poster. You might want to consider that one reason your cousin and aunt are being so awful is that they feel insecure in a new country and are homesick and scared. They may not be like this once they settle in. It's been a year and a half though, it's not like they just arrived. Which has contained the pandemic. I think even the most laid-back person would struggle to find their place in a new area. How did my mind forget about the pandemic? Thanks for pointing it out. Their behavior is still not okay, but it does maybe explain some things. I'd be struggling to give them grace as well after a year of nitpicky behavior. Most of it is still just who they are and would pick on original poster regardless. I asked my relatives and they said spirits will inhabit the person in the painting. I immediately wrote it off as old wives' tale and they didn't know the real reason, but you know when some paintings give you the creeps, lol. Not the butthole. What's the expression? Don't dish it if you can't take it. Or something like that. Lol. You dare use my own spells against me, Potter? Yes. You invented Expelliarmus? r/unexpected Hogwarts, Reddit link. Yep, maybe now the cousin at least will learn to keep her mouth shut. It sounds a lot like we don't like you dyeing your hair, it is a sin, you are going to hell. And then with the cousin, she isn't hurting anyone, she is just painting, no hell for her. Logically moronic if I do say so myself. Your sin is worse because we don't like it. Don't start nothing, won't be nothing. People in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Practice what you preach. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.